The rain had not stopped for 3 days. It beat against the zinc roof of Mama Ifeoma's hut, each drop echoing the emptiness that had swallowed her heart since her husband, Ozo Chike, was lowered into the red earth. On the night of his burial, tradition demanded that she sit by the family's ancient calabash, the one her husband had carved with his own hands when they married. Inside it, she was meant to pour libations, palm wine, and cola nuts, so his spirit could drink and journey safely into the land of the ancestors. But when she lifted the lid that night, the calabash was empty. Her hands trembled. The calabash was never supposed to be empty. By custom, the elders of the clan filled it the evening before the burial. Palm wine, cowries, a little blood from the ram they sacrificed, all gone. Not a trace remained. A cold wind rushed into the hut and snuffed out the lantern flame. In that darkness, Mama Ifeoma heard a whisper, "I am not at rest." Her breath caught in her throat. The voice was unmistakable, her husband's. The next morning, she told the elders what had happened, but they waved her away. "Grief has clouded your mind, Ifeoma," one said. "Go and rest. Dreams are nothing." But it was not a dream. She had heard him. She was certain of it. That night, unable to sleep, she sat by the empty calabash again. The moonlight slipped through the cracks of the hut, painting silver lines on the floor. Suddenly, the calabash began to tremble, rolling slightly towards her as though pulled by an invisible hand. She gasped. Her husband's voice came again, low and sorrowful. "They took what belonged to me, even in death." Her body froze. Yet her spirit burned with questions. Who took it? Why? What danger did it mean for her husband's soul and for her own family? The whispers grew louder until she covered her ears. The calabash tipped over, and for a brief moment she saw a dark liquid pooling on the floor. But when she blinked, it was gone. The next day, a stranger appeared in the village. He was tall, scarred, and carried a staff carved with strange symbols. He asked for Mama Ifeoma by name. The villagers watched uneasily as he stood before her hut. "I am Deek," he said. His voice was like gravel dragged across stone. "Your husband sent me." For days, the villagers whispered about the scarred stranger, Deek. Some said he was a wandering spirit. Others claimed he had been sent by the gods. Yet when he walked, no one dared to stop him. He carried with him a heavy presence, as though the earth itself bowed to his footsteps. Mama Ifeoma let him into her hut that night, though her hands trembled as she held the raffia curtain open. The calabash sat between them, silent, waiting. DK placed his carved staff across his knees, his eyes sharp as a hawk's. "Your husband's soul is restless," he said. "This vessel was meant to guide him, but someone emptied it. Something sacred was stolen." Mama Ifeoma's voice cracked. Who would do such a thing? Instead of answering, DK pressed his palm against the calabash. His lips moved in quiet incantation. The oil lamp flickered, its flame stretching high, then bending as though pulled by an unseen hand. Suddenly, the hut grew colder. Then came the voice, deep, familiar. shaking the walls. It was my brother. Mama Ifeoma's eyes widened. Her breath caught in her throat. Obinna, she whispered. Her husband's younger brother, who had already begun fighting to take over the farmland and compound. Could it be true? Tyke opened his eyes, sweat glistening on his brow. The dead do not lie. If you want the truth revealed, we must face him. Tomorrow night, the Calabash will unmask him. All to one. The next night, the moon was bright and cold as silver. Mama Ifeoma followed Decay to Obinna's compound, her wrapper tied tightly around her chest, her heart thundering in her ears. Deke set the calabash in the sand before the hut. Villagers, curious about the midnight gathering, crept closer, forming a silent circle. The calabash began to tremble. The clay pots stacked against the wall rattled violently, one after another, until a thick mist poured out. It rose slowly, swirling into the shape of Ozochike's face. His eyes glowed with sorrow and fire. Obinna betrayed me. He poured out my offerings to claim what was mine. Even in death, his greed followed me. Gasps erupted from the villagers. Some covered their mouths. Others shook their heads in disbelief. At that moment, Obinna staggered from his hut, his eyes wild, sweat dripping down his temples. "Lies!" he bellowed. "This woman and her stranger are trying to destroy me. Do not believe them." He rushed toward the calabash, but before he could touch it, a thunderous crack split the night. The calabash burst apart, releasing a blinding column of light. From the light, Ozochike's spirit emerged fully tall, commanding, his voice like rolling thunder. The ancestors see what men hide. Obinna, you cannot escape your deeds. The crowd cried out in fear and awe. Obinna dropped to his knees, clawing at the dirt. His body convulsed violently, as though unseen chains had bound him. His screams tore through the night, echoing into the forest, until suddenly, silence. His body fell limp to the ground. The light slowly faded. The shards of the calabash lay glowing faintly, then turned to dust, carried away by the night wind. Mama Ifeoma sank to her knees, tears streaming freely. For the first time since her husband's death, her shoulders felt lighter. Deke placed a firm hand on her shoulder. "It is done. Your husband rests, and so do you." As dawn painted the sky with gold, the villagers carried Obinna's body away. Mama Ifeoma stood alone in the morning light, her black wrapper fluttering in the breeze. Her heart was heavy with grief, but inside it was a quiet peace she had not felt in weeks. And though the calabash was gone, its story lived on a warning to the living, and a reminder that the ancestors see all.